Hello, it is Monday, April 3rd, and this is a Long Island news update. I wanted to update you on certain things regarding Nice Bus and regarding another derailment. I'm sorry I didn't bring you the news sooner about the restoration of some Nice Bus service, but I'm going through my own thing here, so my own hell, you could say. Anyway, let's get to the latest news with Nice Bus now. Nice is assuming that there's going to be some additional funding. So for this particular quarter, they are able to provide a limited rush hour only service. They're able to preserve that on the N19, the N57, and the N78, N79. These routes will run rush hours only. The headways are currently very similar, but they will run rush hours only. So if you're outside, if you're taking those routes on weekends or outside of rush hour, you're out of luck. Well, the 57 I think always ran rush hours only, but the 19 and the 78, 79 is still going to be very hard on people. But I'm glad that there's some limited service at least being provided during the busiest times. Now, there are across the board, except on, I think, only two routes, the 25 and the 26, you will notice schedule changes. Most of them are fairly minor, but there are some missing runs. They've taken some runs off almost all the routes. In some parts, even the 35, there's some late morning runs that have been cut. And even on the 40 and the 41, between 7:30, there used to be a 7:50 bus. That's been eliminated. 7:50 bus from Mineola. Well, now it's going to be after the 7:30. The next one's going to be 8:10. So a 40-minute wait in Mineola. I know this is a little on the late side of the peak, but it could result in some really bad crowding on that 8:10 run. But you can thank your Nassau County elected officials. You can thank New York State for particularly Nassau County. They're saying that they're going to find an additional 1.5 million, but they really should be coming up with the full 6.8 million. All right, the legislature should have done this, and there's really no one to blame but themselves. And I think we need to remember in November here, it's not just Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano, but it's also the Nassau County Legislature for not properly funding the bus service. I'm not even mad at Nice Bus at this point. I don't think it's their fault. It's the county. This is why MTA left and they got disgusted. Now we have the same thing. We have the same problem again. It's not Transdev's fault. Even Transdev is disgusted with the county at this point. This is a county that doesn't want to fund its bus service. Suffolk County funds its bus service. Westchester funds its bus service. And Rockland funds its bus service, but not Nassau County. And this is what we have. The ultimate solution here is to get more funding from the county. Now, the state is supposedly going to come through with there's additional maybe 1 or 2 million that might go to Nice. And then there might be changes in the payroll tax, changes in other stuff. However, the state budget is now being held up and may not be passed until the end of May because it was supposed to be passed by April 1st. That's the deadline. However, mostly because of people on the left who want to basically, what they want to do is they want to take right now in this state, if you're convicted of a crime if you're charged of a crime over 16, you'll be charged as an adult. Well, they want to make it 2 years later to 18, which is a bunch of bullshit. The Democrats, the people on the left, particularly in the Assembly, are holding up the whole budget, holding up the state, holding up the school districts. They put together their budgets. And you need to pass the budget now. Forget about this whole thing with, when you should know once you're over 16 years of age that you did something wrong, all right? And I think raising the age to 18 is a freaking huge mistake. It's just another example why I'm not a Democrat anymore. This is exactly what I mean. This is the party that wants to support the criminals, the illegals. They've lost sight of supporting the poor citizens. So that is what's going on with that. So that may mess up things with Nice Bus. We have to see. If this budget gets held up, then the limited service on the 19, the 57, and the 78, 79 might go by June if the state doesn't get its act together, and then there'll be nothing. All right. So that's that. It's all riding on a lot of different things. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is this derailment. New Jersey Transit, another derailment at Penn Station today. 11 days, I think 11 days ago we had a derailment, and now another derailment. And there right now is very limited, almost no NJ Transit service out of Penn Station. What's very interesting with this is that I've been looking at the departure board site on the Amtrak site, on the New Jersey Transit, and the Amtrak trains seem to be departing, maybe just a few minutes late. But all the New Jersey Transit trains, most of them are saying standby, and then they go to canceled. I think Amtrak is despicable with the way they run Penn Station. They give preferential treatment to Amtrak, while the way more people use New Jersey Transit, and they should be having those tracks for New Jersey Transit trains instead of just Amtrak trains. Now, this is going to affect the Long Island Railroad as well, because NJ Transit in rush hour will try to provide limited service, very limited service. Right now, most of the service is going out of Hoboken or Secaucus. Very limited service, and they will have to use some of the tracks that the Long Island Railroad normally uses, I think 13, 14, and 15. So there will be 30 trains on the Long Island Railroad that will be canceled tonight. It will be a hell of a rush hour for people on the Long Island Railroad because of this. And Trump wants to cut Amtrak funding. Amtrak is a freaking disaster right now. I think, most of the problems that the Long Island Railroad experiences are Amtrak's fault. And personally, because the Long Island Railroad and New Jersey Transit run the majority of trains out of Penn Station, I think that the ownership of Penn Station should be transferred over to the MTA. And the Amtrak should no longer own it anymore, because I think they mismanage it. They're giving preferential treatment to their trains that, much less people use compared to NJ Transit, and leaving NJ Transit riders with nothing right now. There's nothing going out of Penn Station. They say there's limited service. I think at the departure board, there is nothing. So, but it will be a mess of a rush hour. Crowded trains, you can bet all those flyers will be canceled. Most of the expresses will be canceled on all the branches. So it's going to be hell. Best thing to do, travel before or after 8 o'clock tonight. It just, our infrastructure is falling apart. And Trump said he was going to make America great again. Trump said he was going to make America great again. Well, he's not making America great, because he's cutting funds for infrastructure. We're going to see more of these problems. And Trump, you said you were going to get rid of the illegal immigrants. Well, they're all over the place in my town in Westbury. There's more of them than ever. More of those Ricetown Hondas all over the place. You're not getting rid of them. They're not being deported. In fact, it seems more of them are coming here. Now, like I said before, if I had it do over, I still would have voted for Trump given the current choices. But I'm really disappointed that he's not keeping his word on his things. He said all he's doing is cutting taxes for the rich and the corporations. That's all he's doing. It's making it easier for the rich, corporations, and polluters. Meanwhile, he ain't doing a damn thing for U.S. citizens right now. Not a damn thing for us. Tons of these illegals, they're all over the place now. The weather's getting warmer, and they are out all over the place in Westbury once again. And, my own personal hell is having to deal with living here, having to deal with these illegals all over the place, having to deal with cars with out-of-state plates all over the place, having to deal with people hanging around, having to deal with a town that nobody wants to come to. And I can't blame them, because it's full of illegals. And it's full of other problems that are just being dumped here. And, and here we go, another summer of hell about to start for me, and I still can't get out of this freaking place. I can't seem to move into a decent town on Long Island. I'm trying, and it's a battle. And that's why I can't do these news updates on a regular basis, but I figured I'll do this one. The next one could be a month from now, all right? But anyway, I figured I'd keep you updated on that. Wish me luck on this whole thing. It's horrible living in a town like this, and this town is in free fall. Let me tell you, they built condos next to the Space Theater, and they're just empty. They've been there for over a year. They're empty. Even the sign that they put up there is now torn. It's like they've just given up. This town is in complete free fall right now. The mayor won't say that. The mayor will say, watch this video and say, that guy is nuts. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, I happen to live on this side of town, Mayor, and it's still going downhill. Where are the regular people? We don't have any regular people here. We have a bunch of illegals, we have misfits, we have crazy people. We don't have any regular people here. all right? They're all leaving, all right? They don't want to deal with this anymore. This town is being treated like a dumping ground. And Donald Trump, you said you were going to get rid of the illegals. Well, they're still all over the place. I understand you can't get rid of them right away, but, you know, they're still here. There's still more of them coming. You said you were going to deport them. I remember when you were running in the debates and talking and on tweeting and all everything. They said, oh, when I'm president, they'll be gone the next day. Well, guess what, Donald? They're still here. And there's more of them than ever. All right? So I don't know why you're not helping us. I don't know why you're not keeping your word. But I'll tell you this. As a supporter of you, I am extremely disgusted right now. All right? And I'm extremely disgusted at the cuts you're making. You know, none of this makes America great again. It just makes America worse. All right? So that's it, folks. Take it easy. And let's hope they can get this derailment cleaned up by tomorrow so the service can resume to normal in Penn Station. Take it easy.